Sign up to the SBR Network and use your free daily bet points to earn real-world prizes. Click on the page and start winning now. Hi, welcome to SBR Forum Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. We are previewing the main card of UFC 173, talking right now with Nick Kalikas from MMAOddsBreaker.com. Nick Kalikas is a professional MMA odds maker, consultant for numerous sports books, and also from MMA Odds Breaker. Joining us on the phone is Brian Heminger. Now we're going to discuss James Krause and Jamie Varner, and this is another one of these fights that I think I'm seeing some decent value on, although the last one you guys talked me off of. We have sort of a classic up-and-coming guy facing a veteran who might be fading here. Varner is minus 175. He had a somewhat surprising career resurgence, but now he's lost 2 in a row. Krause is a solid up-and-comer, maybe not blowing anyone away, but definitely solid, and it will not be a pushover for Varner. He's at plus 155 right now, and I'm just thinking in this situation you always lean towards the up-and-comer if he's an underdog like this. Plus 155, I think that's a side with value. What do you think, Brian Heminger?
Yeah, I actually agree with you this time.
Good.
I think both of these guys are very evenly matched. You look at them, and I think Varner does have a slight power advantage, but I think Krause is a little bit more of a technician on the feet, and Krause should have the size advantage and reach advantage. So as long as he keeps his punches straight, he works a jab, he could keep Jamie Varner at bay and frustrate him. On the ground, I think Varner should have better wrestling, while Krause is going to be a little bit more technical in the submission department. So this is actually a really evenly matched fight, and when you have a fight like this where I think it could go either way, then the value is definitely on an underdog, especially somebody who's plus 155 like Krause.
Nick, I'm a little bit surprised this line isn't a little bit more even. Where did you open this line?
I believe about $1.80 or so, and it's again another spot that's bounced around a little bit, so it's staying pretty steady.
Okay, why did you open it with Varner as such a significant favorite?
Well, it's really, you got to look at it the way it is. I mean, it's his fight to win or lose.
Right.
I mean, Varner has a wrestling edge. He has a boxing edge. I mean, I know that overall, Krause probably has a striking edge. I mean, he's a more versed striker. He can throw more things at you, different angles. He loves to throw kicks in there. I guarantee he's the better overall striker. But I think the more effective striker in this case can definitely be Jamie Varner. I mean, his boxing is legit. It's solid. He's got power on the feet. He can dictate where this fight goes. I mean, Krause cannot take Varner down, where Varner can put him on his back anytime he wants, I believe, in this case. Now, the question mark is, will Varner take him down? And if he does, will he be able to avoid the submission game from Krause? Because Krause is pretty slick off his back. And I think it all depends mentally and how physically Varner's prepared. I think if he shows up here and he wants to win the fight, and I'm saying this because, I mean, that's the main flaw, I think, with Varner, is you just don't know which fighter you're going to get. I mean, he's a little bit too inconsistent for my liking.
Right.
But if Varner shows up, I mean, and he's wanting to win this fight, he's prepared, he's going to win this fight, no doubt about it. But I do agree with you guys, it's kind of a tough spot to actually lay the juice on, because I mean, that inconsistency does bother me quite a bit. But make no mistake, I mean, Varner is the better fighter here. I know that you're calling Krause kind of an up-and-coming fighter. He's been around for a long time. I got a lot of respect for the guy, and I'm glad to see him actually make some waves in the UFC and start to get some respect. But this should be a bad matchup for him.
All right, so Brian Heminger, if you had to bet this fight, would you just take Krause plus 155, or would you go for some kind of other prop?
Yeah, I'll probably take a shot on Krause plus 155. While he didn't look so great in his last fight against Bobby Green, he did get low blowed twice before the finish in the first round, and I just can't get that image out of my head of him just slicing and dicing up Sam Stout in his UFC debut, and he looked so good there. And that's a similar style fighter to Jamie Varner, while Varner has a little bit more power. So I think it could happen. So I think it's at least worth a shot. Maybe not a big bet, but at least worth something small on an underdog.
Yeah, I mean, the only reason he lost his last fight anyway was because he kept on getting kicked in the dick. You know what I mean? It's like, do you throw out that loss because of that? You say, well, maybe it's not a legitimate loss?
I wouldn't say that. I thought Bobby Green, even though he did land a couple low blows beforehand, he was outworking Krause, and his technique on the feet was just spectacular. He was using a lot of good movement and everything. And I watched that fight right before coming on the show again. And, Krause did get beat on the feet before that. So I think he learned a lesson there. And Varner doesn't have those type of defensive skills that Bobby Green was displaying either.
All right. Well, thanks for your thoughts. Very valuable insights, as always.